Oh, I'm excited, guys. Why am I excited? Because we got the Rmax in the Hillbilly Garage for some updates and some accessories. No, simmer down. Unfortunately, we're not installing the RPM turbo kit. We're doing a few electrical upgrades first. Vic Off-Road sent us an 8-pod rock light kit. We're going to be throwing that on. We got it paid. We'll probably put one on each 4 corners and then some inside for like interior lighting. But before we do that, we need to upgrade our power handling capability of the Rmax. We're gonna throw in a second battery. And I decided, I usually run the Odyssey Extreme Series lead acid batteries, but I decided this time we're gonna try a lithium ion battery. Because I figured, why not? Everyone always wonders how lithium ion batteries do. Is it actually better than a maintenance-free lead acid battery? Might as well find out. And of course, we got the true dual battery kit here made for lithium batteries, which you need one of these isolators to run a second battery. I'll link these in my description below. And we gotta find a spot to put it. I don't think there's enough room up here. I have a fuse block coming. I'm gonna stick probably right here, run wire up from the second battery to right here so it's easy to get the stuff to hook it up. But space is a premium under here. There isn't a whole lot of room. Yeah, kind of looks like you're looking in the maintenance hatch of a fighter plane or something. I don't know. But I think the best place to put this battery is going to be to take this floor panel out, and I'm going to make up my own custom battery box like I did with the 500 and install it under the driver's seat. So let's get to getting the rest of those floor panels out. Now, some of you may have some reservations about digging into the electrical system of your side-by-side and doing something like installing a second battery, wiring up lights. But hopefully throughout these next couple videos doing all this work, I'll be able to show you guys that it's actually not too awful bad. A lot of times I think people try to overthink it and they get a little intimidated by it. But if you don't know what you're doing, if this video doesn't help you, I mean, a simple Google search can help give you a good enough basic understanding of electrical components and stuff that you'll probably be able to tackle a simple second battery install or rock lights, a light bar install, as if you were a professional electrician. Okay, maybe not a professional electrician, but at least enough that it'll work and you won't have to worry about running the risk of burning your machine down. And why do they make these little clips so hard to come out sometimes? Oh, plenty of room in under there. Do her again. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Piece of cake. Dirt. All right, now you guys can see what we're working with here. I'm thinking a little battery tray right here in the corner with the battery. Should be plenty of room in here. Oh yeah, that would probably work quite nice. That way or that way. Well, I hate to do it, but as dirty and filthy as it is in here, I'm going to have to brave the cold and suit up so I can pressure wash the Rmax off a little bit before I do any work. Otherwise, I'm going to be getting dirt and dried mud and grime in all kinds of places. I don't want to get that kind of stuff. So, grin and bear it. Hopefully I don't freeze to death and get frostbite. Alright, since I got this guy all washed up, I've been able to cut a few of my mounting pieces. I'm just using simple angle iron. And as you can see here, I'm just going, keep it simple, stupid. A couple pieces of angle iron there going from this frame cross member to this one up here. It should be back from the floorboards. And then I have a couple more pieces of angle iron I'm going to weld in here to hold the battery from sliding. So it's something simple like that. And then I'll attach some kind of brackets here on the side. I can run some all thread up with a bracket here on the top then to hold her good and secure. so she doesn't move when I catch air in this beast. So there is our battery tray and battery installed. I will go ahead and I will have to pull this, paint all this metal up so she doesn't rust on me. But since we got that in there in place, all fabbed up, let's go ahead and start doing some wiring. So I'm going to mount most of my wiring up here. I got, of course, my dual battery isolator. It's the Troll dual battery isolator. This one's made specific to work with a lithium ion battery. If you guys are running a lithium ion battery, you need to make sure you get one that's made for lithium ion, because a regular dual battery charger can hurt them for the same reasons you should never use a regular battery charger on a lithium ion battery. So I'm thinking we're going to mount this puppy right there out of the way beside the battery, so we can still get the battery out, the stock battery out if need be, and we can run the wire up through into there. And then to make installing all my accessories a little easier, I did go on Amazon and get this waterproof fuse block to keep all the wires organized, and it'll just look a lot neater. Now, I was originally gonna mount it right here in this convenient location on the firewall, but then I realized that if we ever have to take the stock battery out, that's gonna kind of be in the way. It's probably gonna be a pain to get that battery out around that. But there's this nice little shelf right here at the front. I think we'll go ahead and mount this guy right there. I'll take just a knife and cut this little ear off. There's probably some kind of accessory or some kind of controls for one of the higher models that went in right here, because they got these guys here. We don't have that, we won't need that. So we're gonna put that puppy right there. So I'm not gonna bore you guys with video of me just fishing wire. So let's just go ahead and cut to this all wired up. Just like that, everything's done. You can see here I got my second battery all nestled in under what'll be under the driver's seat. So let me just give you a quick little rundown here how everything's hooked up. So obviously, of course, we have our main battery here. From our main battery, we have power running up into our dual battery isolator, which is very important when you're running a dual battery setup to run a dual battery isolator. I'll explain why here in a minute. Then we have the blue wire is going to be running down, of course, under the dash along our intake tube, connecting to our battery, which is just grounded out to the frame right there. And then the yellow wire runs back up, comes through and comes the whole way to our fuse block. And of course our fuse block then is ground out running to our factory battery. So, two things to talk about here real quick. First, why do you want to run a dual battery isolator? Basically what a battery isolator's job is to do is to isolate your secondary battery from your main battery. What the battery isolator does is if your main battery voltage drops too low, it'll basically switch off and stop sending power to the second battery to charge, so you're sending full charging power to the main battery. That'll ensure that your main battery is always charged and your buggy can always start and get you home when you're out in the woods. Because you may be thinking, well, why go through all the hassle of adding a second battery when you can just upgrade your main battery? Well, if you're running all your accessories off your main battery, even if you upgrade to like a heavier duty battery, you drain all your power and you're stopped in the middle of the woods to go to start it, you're stuck unless you got someone to jump you or tow you home. With running a second battery and a battery isolator, if you have all your accessories hooked into your secondary battery and you say you stop, take a break, you're running light bars, sound systems, if you drain all your second battery, well, the worst that's going to happen is you lose power for running your accessories for a while. You will still have power in your main battery to start you and get you home again. So yes, you could make things a lot simpler by just maybe going with a bigger, heavier duty battery if you can find one that'll fit. But if you run a lot of accessories, that is not a good idea because you can still drain that battery completely and it can leave you stranded. Always better if you're planning on running a bunch of accessories to run a second battery, a dual battery setup. Again, the Rmax has these accessory plugs here, which gives you keyed on power. But if you're running light bars and stuff, you still have to have a physical power connection to the battery. You can't power light bars and stuff with these guys here. They basically just provide you with the ground and a key on ignition power. To run most of your accessories, you still have to have a direct line to a battery. So with the fuse block, I can now run all my power lines to here, and I don't have to tear in under the seat every time I add something. So I have links for this as well as the true dual battery isolator for lithium batteries. And I'll also add one for regular batteries in case you don't want to run a lithium ion battery in my description below. And these items will also be added to my Amazon store so that you guys can find them at any point in time and you don't necessarily have to go through my videos to find them. Just look on my Amazon store, which is also linked in the description below, and you can find a lot of the stuff like this that's available on Amazon. So now that this is all done, we got our second battery all wired in. We're not quite ready to put this back together yet. I got this Light Fox 8-pod LED rock light kit, courtesy of Vic Off-Road, to install. We'll add some underneath the fender wells, probably some interior lighting as well. Because if you have an Rmax, and you guys know that the headlights on this thing are pretty bright, but they are directly forward. You get no light, like in this area right here whatsoever. And so having some rock lights under here to shine on all four corners will definitely be a benefit. So that's going to be on the next video. If you guys have any questions on my second battery installation, make sure you comment them below. I'll do my best to answer them. I do my best to answer all you guys' questions that you leave in the comments, though on older videos I a lot of times don't see them until long down the road. So it's also good to get a hold of me through my Facebook page at Appalachian Mountain Riders. I could probably answer questions a lot faster through there as I see it more often. So thanks for watching. I hope you installed this video. I hope it's a help to you if you want to put a second battery into your Rmax 1000. We get these lights installed and then comes the fun because we got some performance goodies to put on this puppy once she's back together and we can run it. So again, thanks for watching, and until next time, God bless and keep on riding.